Now, it is time to cross live to Mumbai, where excitement is building, it's fair to say, ahead of the 11th edition of this Indian Premier League. And delighted to say, I think for the first time on the show, we can talk exclusively to the Indian cricket analyst Suneer Chowdhary. Suneer, a very good evening to you.
Good evening, Robbie. How are you?
Very well, Suneer. I'm sure you are a very excited chap at the moment because we are building up to the start of the IPL this coming Saturday, April the 7th. And we've kind of covered exactly what makes it such a big deal, Suneer, but I'll ask you, in your opinion, what the single biggest story heading into this 11th edition of the IPL is.
Well, if I could, I would pick up two stories, if that's good with you. One has a very positive vibe attached to it. The other one is not so much. But the return of the Chennai Super Kings and the Rajasthan Royals, for me, after a 2-year-long break, they made their errors, they made their mistakes, but they are paid for them, and I think they are back, and that's something very good, and it's something that a lot of fans are looking forward to, especially the Chennai Super Kings, I think, who by my estimate might arguably have the biggest fan following, and why not? They have an MS Dhoni leading them in the season, so that's something that a lot of people are looking forward to, watching the Chennai Super Kings come back, watching the Rajasthan Royals also come back. Unfortunately, the second story that leads us into this IPL is Rajasthan Royals and the Sunrisers Hyderabad losing their respective captains, Stephen Smith and David Warner, which is something that a lot of people are talking about, not just because they're IPL captains, but also because it's something big in the world of cricket. So those two news for me, those two stories for me are two of the biggest ones heading into the IPL.
Suneer, great to have you on the show this evening. I've got to ask, just picking up on the second of those two big talking points heading in to this IPL. I said on this very show last week, I praised the IPL for taking the stance that they did with both Steve Smith and David Warner. It would have been easy, I felt, for them to jump on the bandwagon and actually profit from an awful lot of people wanting to tune in to see what Smith and Warner were to do in the IPL. But how is the feeling in India? Is this being supported, or are there a lot of fans that are a bit disappointed that Smith and Warner will not be heading on over for the IPL?
It's a mix of both. I think there's no common consensus, if I could say. Some are happy to see that that step has been taken. Others are pointing to some of the previous misdemeanors made by, say, Rajasthan Royals in this case. But personally, I believe that if a team doesn't want to get associated with a player who has made a mistake, and a mistake big enough for his own cricket board to be penalizing him for a 12-month period. I want to add here that I was very surprised with the kind of punishment that was meted out to all three of these players. A 12-month penalty for something like ball tampering was surprising. Never has someone else, probably only one player, has been banned for a match or two before this. But I do understand where the Cricket Australia is coming from. So I do understand it's not just about ball tampering. It's about something much more grave from the Cricket Australia's point of view. But having said that, if a franchisee doesn't want to get involved with a cricketer who has that negative touch, given what has happened in the lead up to the IPL, I think it's only fair. I mean, you have a player who's been banned for 12 months by their own cricket board, and then to have him play in a tournament as big as the IPL, something wouldn't sound right there. So I think that's a fair call made, as unfortunate as it is for the three players.
It's a little off topic here, Suneer, and this question just popped into my head there, into the head now, just listening to you with that answer. Can I ask you, and can you be honest with this, if you've said there that David Warner and Steve Smith, the 12-month ban from Cricket Australia, has surprised you, hypothetical situation I know, but if, let's just say for the sake of argument, Virat Kohli is caught ball tampering, does the BCCI, in your opinion, do they ban him for 12 months?
If I would be honest, no, I don't think so. I think why Virat Kohli? I think we have had previous instances of players having been caught in ball tampering. We have had Faf du Plessis having been caught ball tampering twice. He has not been banned even for a match, and that's not just from the ICC but from his own cricket board. I don't think it would be treated the same way as Cricket Australia has treated the three of their players, which is what surprised me. I personally was very surprised that it snowballed into something that big. I would have assumed that ICC took the matters in their hand, did whatever they had to do within the laws of the game, ban them for a test match apiece, and that should have been the end of that. Even when Cricket Australia got involved, I thought it would more or less be a 1, 2 or 3 test match ban or a 3 one-day international ban. But coming back to the Virat Kohli question, no, I don't think that would happen. No, I don't think that would happen in any other country. But now that the precedence has been set, I hope that the ICC takes more steps to ensure that such a thing doesn't happen. Or if I could add to it, make some aspects of ball tampering legal in some way so that the bowlers have that kind of advantage as well.
Yeah, interesting to see that all 3 of those players caught up in that scandal have accepted those bans as well, Suneer, and they're not going to contest them. Very much singing from the same hymn sheet, those Australian cricketers. But let's get back to the IPL. We remarked that it's 8 very evenly matched teams on paper. It's pretty difficult to pick out a clear favourite. For you, is there a clear favourite? And if not, the handful of teams that you would select perhaps that are going to be in the shake-up come the end?
No clear favorites for me. But before today, I would have picked up a Delhi Daredevils to be a dark horse in the tournament. They've never won the title. In fact, they've never got into the final. But today, you have Kagiso Rabada getting ruled out of the tournament because of an injury, and he's out for 3 months. So that will be a huge blow for the Delhi team. I think that makes me a little apprehensive of picking them up as one of the favorites. But the Ricky Ponting, Gautam Gambhir combination, we've seen in the past, Ponting with the Mumbai Indians, Ponting with the Australian T20 international side, and Gautam Gambhir, having captained the Kolkata Knight Riders, has done well, has won them 2 titles. I think that's a good combination to have. They have a good set of players. The injury to Rabada notwithstanding, I think that's one team to watch out for. Other than Delhi, I would say that Mumbai Indians have a very strong side. Mumbai Indians are one of those teams that give me an impression that they're always stronger than the sum of its parts. And when you look at them individually as well, they are a strong lineup. It's not like they're one of those moneyball teams who do not spend and they're still stronger than the sum of its parts. They are a team that I would say are favourites going into any of these IPL tournaments in recent times.
We know the big names, Suneer. Last one from us. We know, of course, all of the big names, your Virat Kohlis, your MS Dhonis of this world. They will always garner plenty of attention and plenty of headlines. What about some lesser lights of the game? Who's on your radar and who should cricketing fans be keeping a very close eye on?
Well, I'm from Mumbai, so I'll start with the Mumbai Indians first. There's Ishan Kishan, who I would want to personally watch. He's a hard hitter of the cricket ball, plays for the same state as MS Dhoni, that is Jharkhand. He's led the Indian under-19 team in the World Cup, 2016 World Cup, and he's coming off some good domestic form. So I have a feeling he's going to be opening the innings along with Evan Lewis. There's Washington Sundar, who a lot of people would have watched in the recent series in Sri Lanka, but the good thing to watch about Sundar was that he's an off spinner, a finger spinner who did very well, and that's something that's not seen too often in these days. It's more the wrist spinners who've been doing well. So he did well as a finger spinner at the international level, but more batsmen would now pick him up more often. So that's something to watch out. How does he adjust to the changing times? That's another player. He would be playing for the Royal Challengers Bangalore under Virat Kohli. There are a couple of players from the Kolkata Knight Riders. There's Ishang Jaggi, who's coming off some good domestic form, and then there are 3 under-19 cricketers who did well during the World Cup recently, which India won. Shubman Gill, Kamlesh Nagarkoti and Shivam Mavi. The last 2 names are fast bowlers, so that's something that excites the Indians, because Indians, we're not used to having a lot of fast bowlers doing well for them. So Nagarkoti and Mavi would be 2 players to watch out. And from the overseas set of players, there is a Nepalese cricketer, Sandeep Lamichhane, who would be playing for Delhi Daredevils, and Mujib Zadran for the Kings 11 Punjab from Afghanistan. He's an off spinner, but a mystery off spinner, so to say, something like an Akhila Dhananjaya. And if he gets those chances, I think he'll trouble a lot of batsmen.
Well, Suneer, that is a comprehensive analysis of the lesser lights to look forward to in the IPL and to keep an eye out for. Listen, we've really enjoyed having you on. Absolutely. It's been a fantastic insight into the IPL. I hope we can tie you down to a contract now, and you can pop on a little bit more regularly and talk cricket, especially given the fact that for the next 8 weeks, the IPL is going to be the centre of attention. But listen, enjoy the opening game. Come on, the Mumbai Indians, and we look forward to catching up with you very soon, Suneer.
Thanks a lot, Robbie. Pleasure being there.
Stuff. That is Suneer Chowdhary there. What incredible to have him on the show. His insight, as you could hear there, he is excited, is that young man. He is excited for the start of the IPL, and all jokes aside, so are we.